Welcome back to Learn English Quickly with Podcast, the podcast that helps you master English with confidence. I'm your host, Wyatt.
And I'm Maya. It's wonderful to have you back. In Episode 8, we explored the colorful world of idioms and expressions that bring English to life.
Today, we're tackling advanced grammar, not the boring textbook rules, but the subtle patterns that make you sound truly fluent. These are the grammar secrets that separate intermediate speakers from advanced ones.
Exactly. You might already know the basics like past tense and present perfect, but today we'll explore the nuances that native speakers use without thinking, things that rarely get taught but make a huge difference.
So, let's start with a question. Why should learners care about advanced grammar if they can already communicate?
Great question. Basic grammar gets your message across, but advanced grammar gives you precision, style, and natural flow. It's like the difference between painting with 3 colors versus having a full palette. Suddenly, you can express subtle shades of meaning.
I love that analogy. So what's the first advanced grammar tip that can instantly improve someone's English?
Let's start with the present perfect continuous versus present perfect simple. Many learners know both forms, but aren't sure when to use which. The continuous emphasizes the process or duration. I've been thinking about this suggests ongoing contemplation, while I've thought about this suggests a completed consideration.
That's subtle but important. Can you give us more examples?
Sure, I've been reading that book implies you're still in the middle of it, while I've read that book means you finished it. She's been working here for 5 years emphasizes the ongoing nature, while she's worked here for 5 years is more about the fact itself.
Those nuances really change the meaning. What other verb tenses do advanced learners need to master?
The past perfect continuous is gold for storytelling. Instead of, I was tired because I worked all day, try, I was exhausted because I had been working since dawn. It adds depth and shows the connection between past events more clearly.
That does sound more sophisticated. Now what about future forms? I know there's more than just will.
Absolutely. Native speakers rarely just use will. We use going to for plans, will for decisions made in the moment, present continuous for fixed arrangements, and will be doing for actions in progress at a future time. Each has its own feeling.
Can you break those down with examples?
Of course. I'm going to study medicine shows a planned decision. I'll help you is spontaneous. I'm meeting John at 3 p.m. is a fixed arrangement. This time tomorrow, I'll be lying on a beach describes a future moment in progress. Mixing these makes your English dynamic.
That's really helpful. Now let's talk about something many advanced learners struggle with. Conditionals beyond the basic 3 types.
Yes, real English uses mixed conditionals all the time. You might have a past condition with a present result. If I had studied medicine, I would be a doctor now. Or present condition with past result. If he were more careful, he wouldn't have crashed yesterday.
Those mixed conditionals are tricky, but so useful. What about the subjunctive mood? I know it exists in English, but it seems subtle.
The subjunctive is dying out, but still appears in formal contexts. I suggest that he study harder, not studies. It's important that she be there, not is. Americans use it more than Brits, who often prefer should instead.
Interesting regional difference. Speaking of formal language, what advanced grammar is essential for professional communication?
Passive voice mastery is crucial for formal writing. But it's not just about forming passives, it's knowing when to use them. Use passive to emphasize the action over the actor, to be diplomatic, or when the actor is unknown or unimportant.
Can you show us the difference in tone?
Sure. You made several mistakes sounds accusatory. Several mistakes were made is more diplomatic. The report will be completed by Friday focuses on the deadline, not who's doing it. This subtle shift can change the entire tone of communication.
That's powerful for workplace communication. What about reported speech? That seems to trip up even advanced learners.
Reported speech is tricky because it's not just about changing tenses. You need to consider time references, pronouns, and whether the reported information is still true. Plus, native speakers often break the rules you learned.
How do native speakers actually use reported speech?
We often keep present tense if something is still true. She said she lives in London if she still does. We might use would for habitual past. He said he would always arrive early. And we use lots of reporting verbs beyond said: claimed, insisted, suggested, admitted.
Those reporting verbs add so much color to speech. Now let's talk about something I see confuse many learners: article usage at an advanced level.
Articles are nightmarish because the rules have so many exceptions. Advanced usage includes knowing when to drop articles in certain expressions. Go to bed, not go to the bed, but sit on the bed, not sit on bed. It's about recognizing fixed phrases.
Those exceptions must be memorized, right? There's no real rule.
Often, yes. But there are patterns. We drop articles when talking about the general purpose of a place: go to school, to study, go to church, to worship. But use articles for specific visits: go to the school, for a meeting. Context is everything.
That's a helpful pattern. What about using articles with abstract nouns?
Great question. Generally, no article with abstract nouns. Love is important, but use the when specifying. The love between them was obvious, and a for a type or instance. It was a love that lasted forever. These nuances create precise meaning.
So much subtlety. Let's shift to another advanced topic: emphatic structures. How can learners add emphasis like native speakers?
Emphatic structures are fantastic for making your point strongly. Cleft sentences like "it was John who broke the vase" or "what I need is a vacation" put focus exactly where you want it. These sound much more natural than just speaking loudly.
Those do sound more sophisticated than just stressing words. What other emphatic structures should learners know?
Inversion for emphasis. Never have I seen such beauty. Not only did he arrive late, but he also forgot the documents. These create drama and formality. Also, fronting. That movie I absolutely loved. Putting the object first for emphasis.
Those sound almost poetic. When would you actually use such dramatic structures?
In presentations, formal speeches, or when telling stories for effect. In casual conversation, we use simpler emphasis. I do understand, with stressed do. Or repetition. It was very, very difficult. Match the structure to your context.
Context is key, as always. Now let's talk about something practical: how to sound more natural with grammar and conversation.
The biggest tip? Learn which grammar rules native speakers actually break. We constantly use fragments. Sounds good? No problem. We start sentences with and or but. We end with prepositions. What are you thinking about, despite what traditional rules say?
So perfect grammar can actually sound unnatural?
Exactly. Saying, "about what are you thinking," sounds robotic. Native speakers prioritize flow and clarity over rigid rules. We use me instead of I in phrases like "me too," and split infinitives when it sounds better. To really understand.
That's liberating for learners who stress about perfect grammar. What about ellipsis, leaving words out?
Ellipsis is huge in natural speech. Want some instead of do you want some? Been there for I have been there. Gotta go for I have got to go. Understanding and using ellipsis makes you sound much more natural.
Those shortened forms are everywhere in casual speech. How can learners know when it's appropriate to use them?
Listen to the formality level around you. In casual settings with friends, use contractions and ellipsis freely. In job interviews or presentations, use fuller forms. Email to a friend, casual, email to a client, more formal. Mirror your environment.
That's practical advice. Now let's dive into modal verbs at an advanced level. There's so much nuance there.
Modal verbs are incredibly nuanced. Must versus have to isn't just about obligation. Must is often internal obligation, while have to is external. I must call my mom. I feel obligated. Versus I have to work tomorrow. Job requires it.
I never thought about that distinction. What about past modals?
Past modals express complex ideas about past possibilities. Could have for missed opportunities, should have for regrets, might have for uncertainty, must have for logical deduction. He must have left means you're pretty sure based on evidence.
Those convey such specific meanings. Can you give us a scenario using different past modals?
Sure, your friend missed a party. She could have come. She had the option. She should have come. It was a mistake not to. She might have come. Maybe she did, I'm not sure. She must have been busy. Logical conclusion.
Perfect illustration. Now, what about the continuous forms of modals that confuse many learners?
Modal continuous forms add ongoing aspect. You should be studying implies right now. He must be working is a deduction about current activity. They might be sleeping shows present possibility. These forms make your guesses and advice more specific.
Very precise. Let's talk about another advanced topic: noun modifiers and compound structures.
English loves stacking nouns as modifiers. The company car park entrance uses multiple nouns as adjectives. Advanced speakers need to know the order: opinion, size, age, shape, color, origin, material, purpose, noun. A beautiful, large, old, round, blue Chinese ceramic flower vase.
That's a mouthful. Do people really use such long strings?
Rarely that long, but knowing the order helps with common combinations. A nice little coffee shop, not a coffee little nice shop. Also, knowing when to use hyphens. A 5-year-old child, but the child is 5 years old.
Those hyphens are tricky. What about participial phrases? Those seem very advanced.
Participial phrases add sophistication to your English. Instead of, I walked into the room and I saw John, try, walking into the room, I saw John. Or, exhausted from the journey, she collapsed on the sofa. They create flow and show simultaneous actions.
Much more elegant than using and repeatedly. Are there common mistakes with participial phrases?
The biggest mistake is dangling participles. Walking down the street, the building caught my eye. This suggests the building was walking. The participle must refer to the subject. Walking down the street, I noticed the building.
That's a funny image. Walking buildings. Now let's discuss something many advanced learners want to master: reducing clauses.
Reduced clauses make your English more concise and sophisticated. Instead of, the man who is wearing the blue shirt, say, the man wearing the blue shirt. Drop who is, which is, when followed by ing or ed forms. It's smoother and more natural.
That does flow better. Can you give more examples?
The report which was submitted yesterday becomes the report submitted yesterday. Anyone who wants to join becomes anyone wanting to join. But be careful, this doesn't work with all verbs. The man who knows John can't become the man knowing John.
So it mainly works with continuous and passive forms. What about infinitive versus gerund? That advanced distinction.
This is where English gets really subtle. Some verbs change meaning. I stopped to smoke, paused in order to smoke, versus I stopped smoking, quit the habit. Remember to call, don't forget, versus remember calling, recall the memory.
Those are completely different meanings. Are there patterns to help learners?
Generally, infinitives look forward, intentions, purposes, while gerunds look backward. Completed actions, experiences. I regret to inform you, about to give bad news, versus I regret saying that, wish I hadn't said it in the past.
That's a helpful pattern. Now let's tackle something that even native speakers sometimes struggle with: subjunctive and hypothetical language.
Beyond basic conditionals, English has subtle ways to express hypothetical situations. Suppose and supposing, for imaginative scenarios, were I to, for formal hypotheticals, but for, to show preventing factors. These add sophistication to your expression.
Can you give us examples of these in context?
Suppose you won the lottery, what would you do? Is more conversational than if you won. Were I to accept the offer, I'd need certain conditions is very formal. But for your help, I would have failed. Elegantly shows causation.
Those do sound more sophisticated. What about expressing wishes and regrets at an advanced level?
Beyond I wish, try if only for stronger emotion. If only I had listened. Use would that for poetic wishes. Would that it was so simple, and past perfect for impossible wishes. I wish I had been born in Paris, not just was born.
Very expressive forms. Now let's look at advanced punctuation in grammar, how it changes meaning.
Punctuation is grammar too. Compare let's eat grandma versus let's eat grandma. Commas save lives. Dashes create emphasis, like this, while parentheses add extra information more subtly. Semicolons link related ideas. They're sophisticated but often overused.
Punctuation really is powerful. What about the Oxford comma debate?
The Oxford comma, the comma before and in lists, prevents ambiguity. I'd like to thank my parents, Obama and Oprah, suggests Obama and Oprah are your parents. I'd like to thank my parents, Obama, and Oprah is clearer. I recommend using it.
That's a compelling example. Now let's explore how grammar changes in different varieties of English.
British and American grammar differ subtly. Brits say the team are winning, collective nouns as plural, while Americans say the team is winning. Brits use present perfect more. I've just eaten versus American, I just ate.
What other differences should learners know?
British English uses shall for suggestions. Shall we go? Americans just say, should we go? Brits say at the weekend. Americans on the weekend. Small differences, but knowing them helps you sound authentic to your chosen variety.
Good to know for consistency. Now let's give our listeners practical exercises for mastering advanced grammar.
Exercise 1. Transformation practice. Take simple sentences and rewrite them using advanced structures. John broke the vase becomes, it was John who broke the vase, or the vase was broken by John, or breaking the vase. John froze in horror.
That's great for flexibility. What else?
Grammar journaling. Each day, write a paragraph using one advanced structure. Monday, mixed conditionals. Tuesday, participial phrases. Wednesday, cleft sentences. This systematic practice builds familiarity without overwhelming you.
I like the daily focus approach. Any exercises for speaking practice?
Try grammar improv. Give yourself a topic and a grammar structure, then speak for 1 minute. Topic, your weekend. Structure, past perfect continuous. This forces you to use advanced grammar spontaneously, building fluency.
That's challenging but practical. What about exercises for recognizing natural versus textbook grammar?
Watch native speakers on YouTube or podcasts, transcribe short sections, then analyze where they break rules. You'll notice fragment sentences, ending with prepositions, starting with conjunctions. This builds awareness of real usage.
Excellent for developing natural instincts. Now let's address a common question. How to know which grammar to focus on.
Prioritize based on your goals. Business English, master passive voice, formal conditionals, and diplomatic structures. Casual conversation, focus on ellipsis, natural word order, and common reductions. Academic writing, perfect those complex sentences and formal structures.
Tailored learning makes sense. What about common advanced grammar mistakes even good speakers make?
Overcomplicating. Just because you know complex structures doesn't mean you should always use them. The meeting that was scheduled for Monday, which was supposed to include all department heads, has been postponed. Is worse than Monday's department meeting is postponed.
Clarity beats complexity. Any other common pitfalls?
Inconsistent register, mixing very formal and very casual grammar in the same text. Also, hypercorrection, saying between you and I, because you think me is always wrong. It should be between you and me. Prepositions take object pronouns.
Those hypercorrections are interesting. Trying so hard to be correct that you become incorrect. What about tense consistency?
Advanced writers sometimes get lost in complex tense sequences. When telling stories, pick a narrative tense and stick with it. Don't jump between past and present unless there's a clear reason. Time markers help. By then, previously, meanwhile.
Good organizational tip. Let's talk about one more advanced topic. Grammar for expressing subtle attitudes and emotions.
This is where grammar becomes art. Progressive forms can show irritation. You're always complaining. Future perfect for assumptions. You'll have heard the news. Continuous modals for criticism. You could be helping instead of watching TV.
Grammar as emotional expression. Fascinating. Can you give more examples?
Might can sound sarcastic. You might have told me means you definitely should have. Will for annoying habits. He will leave his dishes everywhere. Question tags for various purposes. Seeking agreement, showing surprise, being sarcastic.
Question tags are so versatile, aren't they? Sorry, I had to use one there.
Perfect example. That tag sought agreement. You're not serious, are you? Shows disbelief. Nice weather, isn't it? Makes small talk. The intonation matters too. Rising for real questions, falling for confirmations.
So much meaning in such small words. Now let's create challenges for our listeners at different levels.
Intermediate challenge. Rewrite a news article using at least 5 different advanced structures we've discussed. This practices recognition and transformation skills.
What about advanced level?
Advanced challenge. Record yourself telling the same story 3 ways. Casual to a friend, formal presentation, and written report. Notice how your grammar choices change. This builds awareness of register and appropriateness.
And for those wanting to push themselves further?
Expert challenge. Write a piece using only structures that break traditional rules, but sound natural. Fragments, ending with prepositions, split infinitives. Then write the correct version. Compare which actually sounds better. This develops your instinct for natural English.
Those challenges really push boundaries. Before we wrap up, what's your top advice for mastering advanced grammar?
Don't learn advanced grammar in isolation. Always connect it to meaning and purpose. Ask yourself, what nuance does this structure add? When would a native speaker choose it? Grammar is a tool for expression, not a set of rules to memorize.
Beautifully said. Grammar serves communication, not the other way around.
Exactly. And remember, even native speakers don't use perfect grammar all the time. The goal is to have these structures in your toolkit so you can choose the right one for your purpose, audience, and message.
Well, that's all for episode 9. We've covered everything from mixed conditionals to natural rule breaking. Next episode, we'll explore strategies for thinking in English at an advanced level.
Until then, practice those transformations, pay attention to native speaker choices, and remember, advanced grammar is about options, not obligations. You're building a richer palette for expression.
Thanks for joining us on Learn English Quickly. Keep experimenting with these structures, and don't be afraid to push your boundaries.
That's right. Every complex sentence you master is another tool in your communication toolkit. See you in episode 10. Keep learning, keep growing.